I never thought I'd end up working the graveyard shift at Walmart. My life hadn't been easy, and this job was the only one that gave me a chance when I was at my lowest. I'd spent years drifting, doing odd jobs, running from mistakes I'd made. Growing up, my family was rough. My dad left early, my mum struggled to keep food on the table, and I made some terrible choices just to survive. When the job at Walmart came along, I grabbed it with both hands. I needed stability, even if it meant working nights. At first, the shift was pretty straightforward. I stocked shelves, cleaned up spills, helped the rare customer who stumbled in past midnight. But after a few weeks, I noticed something strange. There was this one aisle way in the back near the storage room, aisle 13. No one liked working there. It was the canned goods section, and the shelves were always too quiet. I'm not one for ghost stories, but it felt wrong. Even the lights seemed dimmer there, flickering sometimes like they were struggling against something invisible. One night, as I was stacking boxes, I thought I heard footsteps behind me. It was almost 3 a.m. No one else was scheduled to be on that side of the store. I turned, expecting maybe a manager doing a late night check-in, but there was no one there. Just shadows stretching across the empty aisle. I shrugged it off, convincing myself it was just my imagination. But as the night went on, the sounds got louder. A soft shuffle, a faint whisper. The hair on the back of my neck prickled, and my hands started to shake as I tried to continue stacking the shelves. Then I saw it, a shadow at the end of the aisle. Not just any shadow, but a person-shaped figure standing there, watching me. "Can I help you?" I called out, forcing my voice to sound steady. No answer. The shadow just lingered, and then, without warning, it vanished. I took a few steps closer, trying to rationalize what I'd just seen. Maybe I was just tired, but as I walked down the aisle, I felt a chill, like I'd stepped into a freezer. Goosebumps prickled along my arms, and that's when I noticed the smell. It was subtle at first, but soon it grew into this sickly, rotting stench, like something dead was hidden among the cans. I couldn't take it anymore. I bolted out of aisle 13, straight into the break room, and splashed cold water on my face, telling myself to get a grip. That's when another worker, Jake, walked in. He looked at me and chuckled. There was no humor in his eyes. "You saw it, didn't you?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. "Saw what?" I replied, trying to play dumb. Jake sat down, his face pale, his eyes wide and haunted. "I've been here for 5 years. Everyone who's done the night shift long enough, we all see it. A shadow, watching, lingering." He told me about an accident that had happened in the store years ago. Apparently, a man had been found dead in aisle 13, late at night. No one knew how he died. There were no signs of struggle, no injuries, nothing to explain his death. He just dropped dead. After that night, things were never the same in that aisle. Workers started quitting. Customers avoided that part of the store. Eventually, management stopped assigning anyone to aisle 13 alone. They started doubling up employees for safety. I couldn't shake the feeling of dread. Every night when the clock struck 3 a.m., I'd feel it. A dark presence watching from that aisle, a reminder of whatever lurked in that corner of the store. One night, I decided to face it. I was tired of living in fear, letting this shadow control my every move. I walked down aisle 13, heart pounding, whispering to myself that it was all just in my head. And then I saw her. The shadowy figure took shape, his face hidden in the darkness, his hand slowly reaching out toward me. A cold hand gripped my shoulder, and I froze, too terrified to move. The figure leaned close, and I heard a faint whisper, like a breeze from the grave. "Leave." The next morning, I quit my job at Walmart. Some things, I learned, just aren't worth the paycheck. Aisle 13 still haunts me. Those quiet nights, that shadowy figure watching, waiting, trapped in the flickering light.